Hello, Cloud Dwellers. As part of our ongoing Marketing Cloud CERT review, we're back today to explore another question that has to do with content creation. This time, we're exploring what the purpose of using a button content block is when creating a new email message in Marketing Cloud. So let's check it out. This week's question asks, what's the purpose of using a button content block instead of an image button? Now, in order to answer this question, it probably helps to understand a little something about the differences between a button content block and an image button. So let's take a look at that first. Now, when working in Content Builder in Marketing Cloud, you may be running into a situation where you're creating an email and you decide you want to put in a button. So there are two options. One, you can create a button by being able to drag a button element over here and say, I want to put a button right here. But you can also create something that looks just like a button, which is an image of a button. Now, we could argue which one of these is better looking, but one of the things we definitely can define here is that using the button gives us a better opportunity to have more flexibility. So I can come in here and I can say, let's name this button or the information that's going to be on here, say click me. But here's the most important thing. Down here, I can come in here and I can set elements for how I want this button to work. When you click on it, which URL do you go to? What is the title of this button that would appear in my reporting? And that information is going to be very helpful, all right? So when I have this button, one of the things that's really beneficial is that if somebody has their images turned off, right? You receive emails, but you say, don't show me any pictures. You're not going to see this button here, but you will see this button here because it's not a picture. Now, this button here can also be clicked on and could be provided with a link of sorts. There's still similar information here for how that works. So if you click on this, you could go to a URL, etc. So while it looks like a button and acts like a button in most cases, the one thing that's really missing here is that it is not going to be visible or trackable if it is turned off at the client level. So in this case, if we're using buttons, it is not an image, therefore it does not get turned off, therefore the end user is going to see it. Now, all that understood, let's go take a look at our answers and see what kind of information we can glean from this. Now, once again, if we're exploring what the purpose of using a button content block is instead of using an image button, we've pretty much covered that. Let's see what these answers can offer us. A is offering, it says it helps us to hide tracking pixels. Well, it doesn't. And a tracking pixel is something that is included with every email that leaves Marketing Cloud. And it allows the servers that send an email to be able to measure if the email got open at the other end by pulling in a request for an image to be appearing on that email. In this case, we're not using a tracking pixel, or we would not be measuring that as part of the button, so that's not going to be an answer. B is offering that it says it increases font rendering speed. Well, the truth of the matter is it doesn't have anything to do with font rendering speed at all, so let's just cross that off the list. Answer C is saying it ensures links are trackable and visible even if images are turned off. And guess what? That sounds exactly what we were talking about before. Let's hold that open and look at D. And D says it adds AMP script automatically. Well, we don't really ever have a use case where adding AMP script automatically is what we want to be able to do because it's used for personalization purposes and we generally need to set it up. So in this case, no, D is not a good answer for us, and that brings us back to C, I should say, as being the proper answer this time around, which is that it ensures links that are trackable and visible even if images are turned off. To explore other questions and answers surrounding Marketing Cloud certification and mastery, please subscribe to this channel and we'll drop a new question for you to check out every week. Also, this question was taken directly from our new and free certification quiz featuring 125 practice questions covering the Email Specialist Certification Exam. If this sounds like something you could use, simply go to blueclouduniversity.com and click on the CERT Prep tab to get started. Thanks for dropping by. I'll see you again next time.